There's something very troubling going on in the Star Wars universe right now. It's very disappointing to me how Skeleton Crew is doing so bad. It doesn't seem to me like a lot of the people that are cheering on the demise of Skeleton Crew even watched the show. There's a whole sect of the Star Wars fandom that stopped watching everything Star Wars, which is very understandable after The Last Jedi. But then there are people like me who are still around. I still want to see the franchise do well. I want to see Star Wars around for a long time. Now, Skeleton Crew is objectively a good show. It's good Star Wars. Episode 7 was great. We're going to go through that later on in the video. I saw this article today, Cosmic Book News. Skeleton Crew has worst Star Wars ratings on Disney Plus, lower than The Acolyte. Hail, lords and ladies, welcome back to the Great Hall of Lore and Legend. I am the Lore Knight, and today we're going to talk about the reason I think Skeleton Crew's ratings are so bad. The Nielsen ratings for the first 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew are in, revealing that they are worse than The Acolyte, worse than Andor, and seemingly the worst Star Wars ratings on Disney+. Skeleton Crew is also the first Star Wars TV show not to have its premiere make the Nielsen ratings, which are automatically turned on in your Disney Plus accounts. Samba TV hasn't published ratings for a majority of the recent Star Wars or Marvel shows, likely at the request of Disney, who is an investor in the company, as obviously the ratings are in the gutter. Particularly alarming is that Skeleton Crew premiered its first 2 episodes on the same night, yet still failed to appear in the Nielsen ratings, despite having an entire week to qualify. Nielsen released its ratings for the week of December 2nd through December 8th, covering the premiere of the first 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew on December 2nd. However, the show failed to make the list. Since Skeleton Crew didn't make the list, its total viewership was below 382 million minutes, meaning the average per episode was under 191 million minutes. The Acolyte also premiered its first 2 episodes in one night and made the Nielsen ratings with 488 minutes, averaging 244 million per episode. So what happened? Why didn't fans tune in to watch Skeleton Crew? It's from Spider-Man director John Watts, so you'd think that it'd be at least decent, right? The answer seems clear. Fans just aren't interested. After Disney's handling of Star Wars sequel trilogy and Disney shows like The Acolyte, Book of Boba Fett, and Mandalorian Season 3, it seems many fans have simply stopped caring about Star Wars. The article goes on. So it's clear from this that The Acolyte sabotaged one of the most anticipated series, Skeleton Crew. How did this happen? Well, let's talk about it. It had a massive budget, but was met with a wave of controversy, backlash, and ultimate disappointment from fans. And I am one of those fans. Now, I was looking forward to The Acolyte. I wasn't making fun of it before it came out. I wasn't, doing all the memes. I wasn't trying to destroy The Acolyte as a fan, is what I'm trying to say. I genuinely was interested in watching that show. As you all know, it turned out to be a huge disappointment and a huge waste of money for Disney. They removed all the merchandise. They basically are trying to make it disappear more than the holiday special. And for good reason. I mean, it was awful. So Skeleton Crew premieres after The Acolyte, a series that promised to return to the fun, adventurous spirit of classic Star Wars. I think The Acolyte left a bad taste in a lot of fans' mouths. Fans from both sides of The Last Jedi hated it. They didn't watch it. Either the fans are trying to punish Disney, or they just literally don't care anymore. Now, when I'm talking about fans, I mean the normies. They're not going to give Skeleton Crew a chance. If they didn't like the last show about people that they don't know from Star Wars, they're not even going to watch Skeleton Crew. If the last show was that bad, why would they come back for more characters that they don't know? It's not Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker. I think Disney, in their infinite wisdom, destroyed the normie fan base. At least that's the people who subscribe to Disney Plus to put on Frozen 2 for their kids. Viewership was down, the hype was missing, and the marketing fell flat. There was hardly any marketing for Skeleton Crew. I don't know if you remembered before the show came out, but there was nothing out there. I mean, we all knew that the show was coming. All the fans knew. It just kind of showed up. Now, the hate train from The Acolyte was in full steam when this show came out. Everybody was still talking about The Acolyte. Shit, I was still making videos on The Acolyte. All the insider rumors as well at Lucasfilm, with The Acolyte's failure putting immense pressure on Skeleton Crew, budget cuts, last-minute script rewrites, and then again, that lack of promotional push, all stemming from a fear of another financial and reputational hit. That's what led to Skeleton Crew's downfall. I believe the series was prejudged and pre-condemned by the sins of its predecessor. Skeleton Crew has the lowest viewership numbers of any Star Wars show on Disney Plus. Maybe fans are being more cautious now. Maybe they're waiting to see videos saying Skeleton Crew's good, go watch it. I'm gonna say that now. Skeleton Crew is a great Star Wars show. It's a lot of fun. I did make a video last week saying that it slowed down, which it did, and there were a couple episodes that could have just been about different characters or gone a little faster or pushed the story forward. But that's a problem with basically all the Star Wars Disney TV shows now, is that they don't push the story forward fast enough for me, for my liking. It's a personal thing. I've been enjoying the show. All the people I talk to, my friends are enjoying the show as well. They all love it. I mean, it's a good show. You should give it a chance. I mean, it's too late to save it now. It's not going to get a season 2. There's no way this show is going to get a season 2, unfortunately. That's the fault of the failure of The Acolyte. That's the fault of Disney for hiring these freaking weirdos, these people with a political agenda to make a Star Wars TV show. Okay, it's all their fault. They wanted to make The Acolyte, they wanted to put messages in The Acolyte fans, and all the people in general that watched Acolyte didn't appreciate it. They didn't like it. Unfortunately, Skeleton Crew is indeed a casualty of The Acolyte. Whenever The Acolyte was canceled, I said then too, this isn't good for Star Wars. None of this is good for Star Wars. It doesn't help the franchise. Again, I think they learned their lesson with Acolyte, but now it's taken another show. So the next show coming up is Andor Season 2. All the fans seem to still like that show. Like, everybody says, oh, Andor's the best Star Wars TV show. Well, okay. Hopefully that one does better. I think Skeleton Crew was supposed to bring in that new, audience of young people, but, there's lots of Easter eggs for us old curmudgeon-y Star Wars fans that are still watching. Even after, The Last Jedi, even after the names we've been called by these people that Disney hires, we're still watching. I still care about this franchise. Man, it is a real shame. It's a real damn shame. Skeleton Crew was prejudged the way it was. And I say, it's no fault of the fans, because the fans are sick and tired of all this crap. They just are. If you still want to enjoy some Star Wars, it's a good show. Episode 7 was great. My theory about the time travel thing, well, it wasn't a theory. It was just a fan theory. My fan theory about the time travel turned out to be incorrect. Now they're playing it safe. It's a simple narrative. They're not going to go off into some crazy direction for this show. I realize that now. It wasn't a prediction. It was just a theory, a fun theory. I think it would have been interesting if they would have done that. We all kind of knew through the foreshadowing that Jod was going to use the kids to bring his crew back to Adadin to take all the treasure. And that's exactly what happened, which, that's fine too. Sure. That's all right too. Also, I was really hoping that Jod wouldn't have just been an Order 66 survivor, but another one like we had Riva or whatever was an Order 66 survivor. Moment of silence for Glurb the Corn pirate. He freaking flew right into that storm, man. That was insane. That took a brave volunteer right there to fly into that storm. And he did it, dude. He freaking went right in there and got blown up, man. Jod took the cuffs off easily. Apparently he had his lightsaber with him the entire time. He could have easily cut down the entire pirate crew and taken that ship. Jod is much more powerful and I think much more experienced than we think. He's not just some guy that used to be a youngling in Order 66. He escaped and, he still knows the Force. No, he planned that whole thing out. We were also told that episode 7 was going to go into Jod's backstory. Extremely disappointing whenever it didn't. Like, it just showed Jod to be, a cutthroat pirate, which is cool. The way he killed Brutus was brutal, man. It was necessary because he did tell Jod that he would kill him the first chance he got. I would have shot him too. Rip SM33. He had a good run on the show. I think he'll be back. They'll probably fix him by the end of episode 8, the last episode. Jod isn't going anywhere. From the way they locked that ship in, I don't think he he knows that they locked the ship to the platform. So I don't know how he's going to get out of there, but hopefully he finds a way. We'll see. I don't think so. I think he's stuck. He's in the center of the planet. That gold ball as they were going down, I thought that was for sure the planet core, but it was not. It was apparently the forge they used to mint the gold. John's reaction was so good whenever he saw the gold finally. Jude Law did an amazing job in this show. He really made the show worth watching, in my opinion. I said, the show would have been better if it would have been the Jod Nanawid show, but even then, man, it still would have been sabotaged by the Acolyte. It still would have been just destroyed, and it has been. So, unfortunately, episode 8, I think, is going to be the last episode of Skeleton Crew ever. I enjoyed watching it. I think you should give it a chance if you haven't watched it yet. It is some fun Star Wars, you don't really have to think, you just watch it. It's not much of a story. It's just kind of just a fun little adventure there. Just fun, you know what I mean? Whatever happened to that nowadays, man? Come on. Do you think Skeleton Crew was unfairly judged because of the Acolyte? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that notification bell, guys. And let's see how episode 8 goes. And I will see you next time.